Yes, that's Josh Peck in The Last of Us. Here's how he landed that FEDRA role and Jizzboy. Speech spoiler alert. This article contains spoilers from Day 1, Season 2, Episode 4 of The Last of Us, now streaming on Max. In an unexpected twist, Sunday night's episode of The Last of Us introduced an actor whose role felt like something out of a bizarre crossover event. The one and only Josh Peck, the beloved Nickelodeon star best known for his role in Drake and Josh, made his highly anticipated debut in the HBO series. And yes, that's really him. And no, it wasn't some long-lost relative of a character we already know. Peck appears in the opening sequence of Season 2, Episode 4, delivering a memorable, unsettling, and utterly bizarre monologue as Janowitz, a soldier with the Federal Disaster Response Agency, FEDRA, in the Seattle quarantine zone. He entertains his comrades with a disturbing tale about his adventures in dealing with the people within the quarantine zone, known ironically as voters, the residents whose rights have been completely stripped away by the oppressive regime of FEDRA. It's a story that's both darkly comedic and deeply unsettling, and Peck's delivery only adds to its impact. Janowitz recounts the time he detained 3 voters for distributing religious pamphlets, an action that leads to a bizarre and violent exchange with Greenberg, a fellow FEDRA soldier. The situation escalates when Greenberg misinterprets disseminating as some sort of crude sexual act, leading to the unforgettable insult, "Nobody asked you, Jizzboy." The unexpected humor in the scene contrasts sharply with the rest of the episode's tension, especially considering that this is The Last of Us, a world of constant danger and moral ambiguity. But as viewers quickly learn, this dark comedy is far more than a throwaway gag. It's part of the show's deeper exploration of the human condition in a post-apocalyptic world. While the game, The Last of Us Part 2, doesn't feature this specific backstory, the show's adaptation veers into new territory, providing a fresh perspective on the hardened individuals within the oppressive military system. After Janowitz's chaotic speech, the van carrying the FEDRA soldiers is stopped by a blockade led by Hanrahan, played by Alana Ubach. In a shocking moment, Isaac, played by Jeffrey Wright, who had previously been part of the FEDRA hierarchy, betrays his fellow soldiers by assisting the local rebels. The betrayal sets off a chain of events that leads to an explosive confrontation. But it's the juxtaposition of Peck's lighthearted tale and Wright's cold, calculated actions that really add weight to the episode. In an exclusive interview with Variety, Peck opens up about how he landed the role of Janowitz and the surprising depth he found within his despicable character. From Drake and Josh to The Last of Us, how Josh Peck got the role. "I'm kind of a wimp," Peck admits candidly when asked about his initial reluctance to watch The Last of Us. Despite knowing the show's immense popularity, he didn't dive into the series right away. However, once the audition came through, he decided to finally take the plunge. "I watched the first episode, and 8 hours later, I had watched them all," he recalls. The intensity of the story grabbed him instantly. "I knew that people were obsessed with the show, but I really wanted to make sure I was matching the tone for the audition," he says. "So when I got the part, I was just so excited. I didn't expect anything, but when it happened, I felt incredibly lucky." As a self-proclaimed fan of great storytelling, Peck found himself immersed into the Last of Us universe, particularly moved by the unforgettable love story in Episode 3. Like most people, Episode 3 was one of the most beautiful love stories I've ever seen, he admits. It's clear that The Last of Us captivated him in a way that few shows can, especially when you consider the immense pressure of living up to the expectations surrounding both the video game and the series. Humanizing a despicable character. What stands out about Peck's portrayal of Janowitz is his ability to inject humanity into a character who, on paper, is downright detestable. The way Janowitz bonds with his fellow soldiers over a crude and offensive story reveals the dehumanizing effects of war. Despite the character's morally bankrupt behavior, Peck manages to find a connection that makes him more than just a villain. When you're playing someone like this, you have to empathize with them, even when they're despicable, Peck explains. War can make people say and do things they never thought they were capable of. He adds that finding an entry point into Janowitz's character was key. He relates it to telling a favorite story to friends, which brings it down to a more relatable level. It's just a guy telling a story that happens to be really terrible. Peck's decision to focus on the human aspect